Dear brother, sister in Christ, today is 12th Sunday, Ordinary Time Mass. As we live, we experience many things, among which we often have fear. Because of fear people, because of the mood, for a variety of reasons, we are fearful. The emotion of fear cannot be avoided in our lives. But if this fear interferes with our lives, we will experience greater difficulties. As believers, we are God's children, but we often have fears that interfere with our faith in many things. Many believers have moved away from faith because of fear. In many cases, fear of humans often destroys our relationship with God. As believers, how can we overcome fear and keep our faith? In today's Gospel, Jesus said to his disciples, "Fear no one. Nothing is concealed that will not be revealed, nor secret that will not be known." During the time Jesus and his disciples were active, Jesus exhorted his disciples to take courage from the fear of persecution and the hardships. Jesus did not want his disciples to preach the gospel fearing with the passive attitude. Jesus wanted his disciples to proclaim the gospel in bright mind in front of the Pharisees and Jews who hindered the proclamation of the gospel, and courageously proclaim the gospel in place where everyone can see, such as on the roof. Jesus said 3 times, "Do not be afraid." He wanted to change the hearts of the disciples from fear to courage. And although persecutors may kill the body, but they cannot kill the soul. So Jesus wanted his disciples to fear God only, but to realize the greater love of God. Jesus said, "Even all the hairs of your head are counted. You are worth more than many sparrows." Through the expression, "your Father," Jesus revealed that the relationship between the disciples and God is already the same as the relationship between parents and children. And if the disciples testify to know Jesus in front of the people, Jesus promised to testify to God that he knows about them. Through the gospel today, what Jesus wants us to do is not fear, but courage and faith. Testimony through courage and faith, and realization of love for God. In other words, in our life of faith, fear of man should not interfere with our relationship of love with God. Christians must proclaim to everyone the good news born by Christ, and following his path, we must be ready for self-sacrifice even unto martyrdom. Although now we are not in the same period of persecution as the situation of blood martyrdom, but our believers are to imitate the same strong faith and courage as the martyrs of persecution. Even during the temptation of apostasy, many believers during the persecution remained courageous in their faith and hope for God until the moment of martyrdom. Of course, they also felt fear. It was because one faith in God required death. But for them, the fear of the death of the flesh could not break the love of God. The martyrs, despite their physical death, testified on their faith in God. Although we cannot testify of faith through blood martyrdom now, but we must courageously testify of faith through the minds of martyrs constantly in our daily lives. If we have a lot of feelings of fear in our life, ask God for courage. Fortitude assures firmness in difficulties and constancy in the pursuit of the good. It reaches even to the ability of passivity, sacrificing one's own life for a just cause. And by faith, let us freely rely on ourselves completely with God. Therefore, dear brothers and sisters in Christ, let us always testify of faith in God with joy and courage, not fear, and work together to become a mature believer who can overcome the feeling of fear with strong faith and love for Jesus Christ.